wasn't really hard. I ended up one-shotting pretty much everything along the way, and so I didn't really feel like there was much of a point to posting my battles against the mini-bosses, because they were pretty much two-shot without really trying. I feel like the mini-bosses are going to get harder, I don't know, maybe around Futaba's or possibly even Okumura's. But for now, we're just going to go straight into the Kaneshiro fight. Real quick, one new thing I did pick up recently when I unlocked alarms, I took up the Tyrant Pistol EX. That is the alarm version of the itemized gun that you get from itemizing Lucifer. And, you know, it's only a plus 15 to magic, so I figured it'd be kind of handy to take along. I will show this off when I get there, but I'm also going... Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I'm going with a slightly different approach for boss battles. I'm keeping Lucifer and Michael in my deck, but I actually fused Satanael. It's not... The build isn't fleshed out because I don't have access to the Gallows yet, but the idea is to mold Satanael into like a boss killer, if you will. I kind of figured I should dedicate something for that for when things get harder. But I don't really think I'll need that here, so I'm gonna go beat up Kaneshiro solo. So I think this fight could be a little bit tricky. Kaneshiro has a couple of nasty status effects he can put on me, and at the way end he has his signature power, which does tons and tons and tons of damage. Up to that point, though, this will probably be pretty manageable, but that part is a little bit troublesome. So this is going to be a little bit challenging, I figure. Mainly when he like after I beat up on his big pig, that's when he's gonna get a little challenging, when he like busts out his little mini guards and whatnot. His pig could be a little bit challenging because of the super VIP form move or whatever. You know, in vanilla P5, it used to be you'd beat the crap out of Kaneshiro here, then he would go jump in his pig. But in here, he just immediately starts off with the pig, and then when you beat the crap out of his pig, he comes out of the pig with his little bodyguards. And that's actually the harder part of the fight than when he's in his pig. It's a bit of a vice versa from vanilla P5. So it's going to be a pretty straightforward start here. He's not going to really do anything. Not going to do anything particularly surprising. You know, I never knew that was a fire attack. I always thought that was like a melee or a gun attack. We're going to use our Satanael build here. It is going to be, when I get it all fleshed out, it's going to be predominantly built around almighty attacks. So yeah, Super VIP form does a ton of damage.
Careful. A big one's coming.
You really got to guard for that one. It does tons and tons of damage.
Careful. A big one's coming.
And I actually did, one thing I didn't mention before I started the broadcast, I actually replaced Ishtar as my healer. I equipped Satanael with Salvation. The idea is I'm going to find room for Spellmaster here so I can kind of make it a jack-of-all-trades build, going for more almighty damage but with Salvation as a healer. If he could use this attack in one turn, he would be kicking my ass. But he can't, so kind of irrelevant.
Big one's coming.
Persona. Alice. Persona.
Careful. A big one's coming.
Persona. Satanaya. All right.
Gonna heal up real quick. We're more than likely gonna have to burn through probably a coffee at some point in this fight.
Careful. A big one's coming.
See if I can finish him off and keep my concentration intact. It's gonna be pretty hard. Damn thing is bulky. The thing is, I'm going to try to set up on his Piggytron where I can go into the battle against his grunts with a concentration under my belt. And it's going to be kind of hard to do if I burn through the rest of my SP here. So we're going to actually burn a coffee.
Careful.
I don't really need him to forgive me, I don't think. Alright.
Careful. A big one's coming.
I think Morgana's told me that like 10 times since the fight began. I think I get it.
Careful. A big one's coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to retain my concentration boost again for when he has his minions show up. So I'm gonna try to regular melee attack him to beat his pig.
Careful. A big one's coming.
This is gonna do less damage thanks to that heat riser. Alright, one more of those will probably take him out.
Careful. A big one's coming.
I did just lose my heat riser boost, which is annoying. He probably will actually survive this. Yeah, he's gonna barely survive it. So I'm gonna tank the hit. Probably gonna want to heal myself with salvation. Then one more hit'll do him in.
A big one's coming.
At least it'll do in his little Piggytron here.
Persona. All right.
One more melee hit'll do him in, and then I'll have room for, if I don't have to burn another salvation at any point, one more. I'll have enough room to use 2 spell powers. Ah, he survives that. Never mind, he does not.
My Piggytron. That's it.
The thing about this fight is you have to take out the bodyguards first. If you go for Kaneshiro with a single target power, he will, like, the bodyguards will actually protect him. So having some kind of spread attack is really important. And now I have my concentrate boost, I believe, yep. So, yeah, as you can see, he's not going to actually, I don't think he's going to take any damage. Right, he's not going to take any damage.
In that case, to get to Kaneshiro, you'll have to get rid of his stupid goons first.
Take this. Yeah, saw that.
All right, Joker. Very smooth. You should check its affinity.
Punk ass. Let's go.
He's got a absolutely beastly attack coming up. In not too long, it's Make It Rain. That is going to do a ton of damage. So I know that I can definitely take out his bodyguards with Alice. And because the only thing they can do to me is presumably use physical attacks, Alice reflects those. So I'm gonna just boost with President's Insight, use a coffee, and that's gonna be reflected. Unfortunately, they do resist that, but that guy was at such low health it didn't really end up mattering. So we're gonna just pop a coffee here. See, the thing is, it doesn't even really matter if he sleeps me, because that other guy's just spamming headbutt, and he inflicts his own self with forgetfulness. That's funny. Now that they're both dead, he's going to use, or at least I would have figured he would have used his signature move, which is going to do, again, a ton of damage. He's missed with that like 5 times. He's gonna pop it out at some point. But I have to admit, I killed him off way too quickly in my first playthrough, so I don't actually remember how long it takes for him to use his signature move. He's used that like 7... Okay, there, he finally hits. How about that? Does a ton of damage, and here's his signature attack. And we do end up barely surviving it, and he's going to use it again, but it does absolutely nothing this time. So that's pretty much game. That's ball game. See, Make It Rain is an almighty attack. It does damage, I think, like 6 or 7 times, which of course those kinds of attacks are really threatening, even though it's only light damage. But we preserved enough HP to survive it with a little bit of health to spare, about 120, and that's it. Kaneshiro is down. That is a solo defeat of Kaneshiro with only Joker on Merciless difficulty. Alright, so that was, I wouldn't say that was particularly challenging, but it did require a little bit more meticulousness than, certainly a lot more like effort than Madarame and Kamoshida did. Things are only going to get a little bit trickier moving forward. In fact, it just occurred to me recently that I'm not 100% sure if you can even beat Futaba's Palace Ruler without using teammates. I'm not sure if you can actually damage her until you, the boss that is, until you actually get her down, which in order to do that you need a teammate to operate the ballista, but I'll figure that out in due time. But in the meantime, Kaneshiro is down. That is a solo, merciless, Joker-only defeat of Kaneshiro.
I'm not gonna let anyone have it. This is my money.
Thank you for joining me here, and I will be back to face the palace leader at Futaba's Palace in, I don't know, give or take a day or two.